Was it working now? Yes, sir. Yeah. Just- Also, remember to check UK time, the radio show, man. We'll be breaking down all the current events. Also, remember there's classes in the States Tuesday through Friday. So Tuesday you have the brotherhood class, Wednesday the law class, Thursday the scripture breakdown, Friday the lash. That's the classes. Them ones is in the States from midnight. They start at midnight UK time. Or if you're on Facebook, just add all the pages like I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom. Subscribe, like the YouTube channel, and so forth. Click the like button on the videos. Do all of those things. Also subscribe to all UK schools, and that way you know your sport for choice. Because usually in the States, everyone's got a class going on the same PW. And also, we just wrap the housing systems against you, the job systems against you. You're going to understand that generational wealth is a real thing, and our people ain't got none of that, man. And you're going to see why our people is so. No, sir. It's back up now. Say, oh, you know what else you're going to see in these lectures? You're going to see that we've always took. That's also in the lectures, man. People riot for what? Because of the injustice which is going on in the air. Our people can celebrate New Year's and act like we are happy, but we're only happy for a night. That's right. All those things we got in the lecture, all those riots we got in the lecture, slavery, all the injustice, the justice system, the listen, I don't want to give you too much, but I got all of that in the lecture. But if I could give me Job chapter 9 and verse 24. So we're going to go into the class. We're going to talk about how black people worship every other god unknowingly. Because to black people, as it's just a party. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, meaning what? The wicked rule this earth, and they rule it however they want to rule it. And once they rule this earth, what do? They indoctrinate the whole land, man. They indoctrinate the whole earth. They spread the propaganda that they want the earth spread. And then before you know it, the whole world's celebrating Christmas. Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So along with that comes their holidays, comes their customs, comes their religions, comes their beliefs. So with that, and what happens? Merry Christmas, buying our kids gifts and put it under a tree. And then a week later, exact to the date, a week later, what do we want to do? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's the first day of the month. You stay up late, messaging everyone, letting off fireworks, screaming, "Woo! It's a new year!" And the thing is, this man, you're still gonna be out of a job by next week, man. You're still gonna have rent to pay. You're still gonna be a slave. A new year. What's new for us, man? Ain't nothing new for us. Because the same way we was getting treated 2 days ago, we're still being treated today. Ain't nothing new for our lifestyle. But in this class, we're gonna show you how to become new, man.
That's right.
You're talking about New Year resolutions. Listen, man, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how the Lord wants you to become new. You're talking about New Year's resolutions. Let me show you how the Lord wants you to become new, man. Because for years I've been hearing New Year resolutions, and then guess what happens? People go back to their old ways, man.
That's right.
They do whatever they like. My New Year's resolution is this, but they don't stick to it. They don't stick to what they're saying they're gonna stick to. They don't stick to what they're saying they're gonna stick to. To tell you how I'm gonna be a better person next year. Next year comes, they're still the same horrible person there was, man. New year, new me. Guess what? You're still a sinner, man.
That's right.
On New Year's Day, you're still sinning, out there partying, half naked. Listen, man, there's nothing new about you, man. You just you're just silly and believe there's something new about you.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the
It
wicked.
says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked run this earth. The wicked rule this earth. So they bring all their laws, their customs, their culture, their holidays. That's what they bring. And they're wicked. So everything that they bring is gonna be wicked. The Lord's telling you this right there. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now you need to look who runs the earth. Our oppressor runs the earth, man.
That's right.
And this is why what? He's got military bases in every country, but every country can't put military bases in his country. He runs the earth so much that all these other nations is afraid of this man. All these other nations know know not to make war with this man. You know why? Because he will come and bomb your country, man. He will come and bomb your country. He will leave your country looking like a desert, man. That's what this man does. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It doesn't say one country, it says the whole earth, man. This man runs the whole earth and he runs it however he wants to run it. And then he comes to your country and what you become tributaries onto him, man. You have to do all these things. You have to pay him this. You have to treat your people in a certain way. He's worried about how other countries treat their people. Meanwhile, he's been treating people in his country like garbage all this time, man. Meanwhile, he's had slaves in this country for over 400 years. He's enslaved the people for over 400 years. But he wants to worry about those people in Nigeria having army children and whatnot. Meanwhile, over here in England, man, they're shooting us dead in the street and whatnot. And they're worried about what's going on elsewhere. This man don't just run one country, he runs the whole earth. There's no escaping this man. The only escape this man is serving God, man.
That's
If
right.
you don't serve God, honestly, you're not gonna escape this man. This man is gonna come and do whatever he wants to you. Read that one more time.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges
And he covers the
thereof.
faces of the judges thereof. Who's meant to be the judges of this earth? We are, man. Who's meant to be the faces of this earth? We are meant to be the faces of this earth. We are meant to be the judges of this earth. We are meant to be the stars of this earth. But this man covers up the children of God, man. He hides the children of God in the back and teaches them that they're not the children of God. Teaches them what? Bow down to me and celebrate Christmas, celebrate New Year's. And our people do it, and we don't even know where these things derive from. We don't know where these things derive from. We don't know what these things mean. We just do it because what? Black people just don't want to research anything. We just want to party, man. All we want to do is party and say, yeah, I got New Year's Day off, so I'm gonna go out New Year's Eve. Want to party in Bamboo and 101 and all these clubs to party and talk about New Year, New Me. And guess what? 2 days time, you forget about this resolution that you made. You forget all about it. It don't exist no more. Listen, every year people say 2020 is my year. I've never ever heard someone say, "Oh, the New Year is not going to be my year." I've never ever heard that, man. Listen, man, I can tell you this, man. We slaves, man. So 2020 ain't our year, man. We slaves, man. And 2020 isn't a new year anyway, man. People get all muddled up, man. A new year is in the spring. We're gonna get there also. Read that.
If not, where and who
And
is
you're
he?
saying if this oppressor that's ruling over us, if he ain't the wicked, where and who is he? Who is the wicked if it's not him? Where is the wicked if it's not him? This is for people who try and say, oh, this man's not the devil. The Lord's saying, well, if this man ain't the devil, who is the devil then? That's what the Lord's saying. This man is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. This man is the oppressor and the murderer and whatnot. Is the feed 12, or is it?
The screens mopping up like earlier before doing the
Hmm.
just the connection.
No, sir.
Right, not 12 now. He just
Just can't see. All right, no, sir. From there, give me a Psalms 106 and verse 35.
good.
We're mingled among the heathen, meaning we live amongst these heathen, we're surrounded by these heathen, and want us to celebrate Eid, want us to celebrate Christmas, want us to celebrate all of their nonsense. Okay, we're mingled amongst them. Go ahead.
And learn their works.
Listen, man. New Year's, that's something that we've learned over time, man. Christmas, that's something that black people's learned over time. Homosexuality, that's something black people's learned over time. Because we mingled amongst the heathens where New Year's Eve, that's works of the heathen, man. Christmas, works of the heathen. Easter, that's works of the heathen. Read that one more time.
But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
And we was mingled amongst the heathen and we learned their works. So this New Year's Day party and stuff, doing a countdown at midnight, is something we've learned among the heathen, man. Listen, they teach you that what a new day starts at midnight. When the Lord says what a new day starts in the evening, man. So really, if it really was New Year's, it would have started about 4 p.m., right? 4 p.m., 5 p.m. If it really was New Year's, it would have started about 4 p.m., 5 p.m. There's no difference between 11:59 and 12:01.
That's right.
Same like there's no difference between the 31st of December and the 1st of January. There's no difference, man. But obviously, we live amongst the heathens and we've learned their works and we have the internet, but we don't use the internet for the right reasons, man. We just use the internet to watch nonsense when really you could be watching educational videos. You could be reading history on the internet. Like nowadays, you got the internet at hand. All you have to do is type something in, man, and it will give you a history on it. But also, you can't believe everything on the internet. Also, obviously, some things where you don't take in everything that you read on the internet. Also, some people believe everything they read on Wikipedia. Listen, man, anyone can edit things on Wikipedia, man. Anyone can edit things on Wikipedia. So obviously, be careful with what information you're taking. And this is why you need to be in class so you can discern what to take in and what not to take in. But if you're not in here, you believe everything, man. Read that one more time.
But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
And this is black and Hispanics, man. We live amongst the heathens and we learn their works. We learn their holidays. We learn their culture, their custom. We learn everything that they do, all their holidays and all this sacrifice and everything that they do. We learn it, man. Go ahead, read on.
And they serve their idols.
And did what?
Serve their idols.
And now we serve their idols unknowingly, man. We served Nimrod last week. We made our kids worship Nimrod last week. And then what? Now our kids is worshiping Janus this week, man. Our kids is worshiping Janus this week, which we've become so. Janus is the god of African culture. Then we're following the Roman culture, and then a few of us celebrated what Kwanzaa. The ones that thought there was deep and said, I and I don't celebrate Christmas, especially these Rastafarians do Kwanzaa, right?
That's right.
These Rastafarians talking about I and I don't celebrate Christmas but celebrate Kwanzaa. Listen, man, you know why that is? Because we mingled amongst the heathen, man. We mingled amongst the heathen and we're learning their works. The Lord don't want us to learn their works. The Lord sent you here as a punishment, man, not for you to be celebrating New Year's, being happy, not for you to be lighting candles, and not for you to be counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, and letting off balloons and whatnot. You're worshiping Janus, man. And the Lord said he's a jealous power, man. The Lord don't want you to give your love and reverence to somebody else. He wants your love and reverence to go to him, man. the God of heaven and earth, which is Him. He don't want you to be worshiping these nations' idols. It's because of worshiping these nation idols is why we're in slavery, man.
That's right.
The more we continue to celebrate Christmas and Happy New Year, guess what's going to happen? The more we're going to continue to be in slavery, man. Listen, the Lord could have done delivered us by now, but we ain't making no progress, man. The Lord needs to see an effort from us first, man. We need to provoke the Lord to come and redeem us, man. But obviously, we want to just keep these holidays. We want to keep Easter. We want to keep Christmas. We want to keep the New Year. So, of course, the Lord ain't going to deliver us, man. The Lord's good. If the Lord did deliver us, you know what would happen? We would start keeping New Year's in the land. We would start keeping Christmas in the land. We would start keeping Easter in the land. And then the Lord would drive us out again. We're here as a punishment, man. We ain't here to join the other nations' customs. Go ahead, read on.
To serve their idols, which were a snare unto them.
And listen, man, us serving these other nations' idols is a trap unto us, man. It's a trap to keep us in slavery, man. These other nations know that Janus isn't our God. They know what we worship is nothing to do with us. We worship these gods unknowingly. Now, we could sit here and blaze on everybody that celebrated New Year's, but listen, where's that going to get us? We want you to repent, man. That's what we want. Obviously, New Year's, it was yesterday. You partied yesterday. You went and enjoyed yourself. Maybe you didn't know no better. Listen, don't do it again, man. We could stand out there and blaze on you, but what? We would rather you repent, man. We would rather you acknowledge your wrongs and turn back to the Lord. That's our job, man, to make you acknowledge your wrongs and turn back to the Lord, man. Because the Lord's merciful. The Lord will forgive you for that nonsense that you did yesterday, for that nonsense that you did last week, as long as you don't ever do it again. As long as you don't do it next year. As long as you don't celebrate Easter in April and whatnot. Go ahead.
Yea, they sacrifice their sons and their daughters unto devils.
Listen, back then they used to actually sacrifice their kids. Nowadays you don't sacrifice your kids like on altars and whatnot. But what you do is let them go off and worship another god. What are you talking about? It's just presents. The Lord don't see it as it's just presents, man. The Lord sees it as you've got your kids worshiping another god, man. And the Lord don't take that lightly. Go ahead.
And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters.
And listen, man, the blood of your sons and daughters is going to be on your hands, man. When your son goes out, when your son grows up and goes out on New Year's Eve to celebrate, and he gets killed on New Year's Eve night, man, the blood of your kids is going to be on your hands, man, because you didn't teach them that it was wrong. Everybody that you are allowed to go out and celebrate New Year's in your family, in your household, you give them the go ahead. Their blood is going to be on your hands, man. Listen, kids don't know nothing when they're born. It's all everything they do. It's been taught, man. All these holidays have been taught, man. Whether in schools, whether at home, but you need to teach them that it's wrong. Now, if you teach your kid it's wrong and they grow up and still celebrate it, then it's on them. You can say, well, I tried to raise him in the way of the Lord. You can say, I tried to raise him in the way of the Lord, but obviously he didn't, want to listen. That's then on him. There's nothing to do with you. You've done your part. Your job ain't to kill them. Your job is to teach them, look, don't do this, or the Lord will do this to you. Don't do this, or the Lord will do this to you. And if they don't listen, when the Lord does do what he's doing to them, you can just be like, I tried to save him, but he didn't listen. That's all you can really do. Go ahead.
Whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the
And used
land
to
was
sacrifice to the African gods and whatnot. Go ahead. Land is what? Polluted with blood. You see when brothers die on Christmas and whatnot. This land is polluted with blood, man. Go ahead.
fucking actually. I was reading some articles today, and already, well, three were dabbed on
See.
a party on New Year, and the family they were dead
See.
also on New Year's Day.
See, just look at that, man. 3 stabbed and the family's dead already, man. And they was doing what? Celebrating pagan holidays. They was out celebrating New Year's, man, partying, and got stabbed in the process. Go ahead.
Thus were they defiled with their own works.
And listen, man, those brothers going out and celebrating what? Pagan holidays. They're defiled by these pagan holidays, getting stabbed to death on these holidays, man. They're going out thinking they're going out to have a good time, not knowing, listen, man, the Lord requires their spirit that night, man. Not realizing this, man. Listen, when you're doing these pagan holidays, just understand that what the Lord can come and take you out that day, man. The Lord will come and take you out of that party, man. You won't be going home to your family. You're gonna be the next person on the news, man. All because what? You wanted to count down from 10 to 0, talking about new year, new me, and nothing changes with you. You're still the same horrible person you was 2 days ago, man. If you was a homosexual 2 days ago, you're still a homosexual now, even though you say it's a new year, new me. There's nothing new about you, man. You're still a sinner. But don't worry, this is why you're in the right place, because we're going to teach people how to change, man. How to change according to the Bible. Go ahead.
And went a whoring.
And listen, man, we go out a whoring, man. Women was just like whores yesterday, man. Went out whoring for these to go worship idols, man, to go worship Janice. Go ahead.
With their own inventions.
Listen, man. We go out whoring with our own inventions, man, and so forth. Go ahead.
Verse 40. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people.
And listen, man, the Lord's wrath was kindled against us, man. The Lord's wrath was kindled against us. Because we disobeyed him, man. And Stephen, this is one of them trolls, right? Is it? Yeah. Why are you using Jewish items? I'm just going to answer it once. Listen, you need to ask the Jewish people why are they using our items, because we the real Jews according to the Bible, man.
That's right.
Just ask them why are you using the Hebrew Israelites items? Ask them that, because really they're copying us. We the real Jews according to the Bible. So you see the menorah and and the horn, the trumpet, everything, shofar, everything. Listen, all these things belong to us, man. So you ask the Jewish man, why is he pretending to be us? Our things, man. Ask him that, man. And ask Eminem, why is he trying to rap like a black man at the same time as well? Ask Eminem that, man. Ask Vanilla Ice also, man. Why are they trying to rap like black men? Ask H from Manchester, why is he trying to rap like black men? Ask them that. And when the answer that they give you is the same answer that I'm going to give you. Go ahead.
Verse 41. And he gave them to the heathen.
And listen, man, this is why we enslaved to the heathens, man. You know why? Because we disobeyed God. If we serve God, we wouldn't be enslaved to the heathens, man. Go ahead.
To the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them.
And they that hated us ruled over us, man. People like Stephen that hate us, man, rule over us, man. You know why? Because we choose to disobey God, man.
That's right.
If we served God, man, we'll be over all our oppressors. We'll be over our oppressors, man. But obviously, we don't serve God. So the people that hates us, and listen, man, is spiritual, man. The Lord, you know why the Lord makes them hate us? Because the Lord wants us to separate from them, man. That's why the Lord allows them to hate us, because he wants us to separate from them. The Lord's saying the people that hate us, because usually, what would you usually do? What would you usually do? Someone that hates you, you'd usually stay away from them, man. These people hate us, and we seem to cleave onto them. They usually, if someone hates you and can't stand you and harms you every time you're around them, what would you do? You would keep your distance. You would stay away. You wouldn't go close. But what do us as black people do? Want to be close with them, want to party with them, want to celebrate Christmas with them, want to buy our managers at work Christmas presents. Talking about can you put some money into the donation to get our manager a present? Listen, man, we ain't supposed to be doing that nonsense, man. You see, your slavery is just for you to go there, do how much ever hours you do, and then go home. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Go there, do your work, and go home. No going out for beers after work. No going around to your co-workers' houses and whatnot. There's no need for none of that, man. Go ahead.
Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subject.
Listen, man. These people oppress us and bring us into subjection. How can you be celebrating Happy New Year's and you're oppressed? You ain't been, listen, if you're 20 years old, you ain't been happy for 20 years, man. If you're 50 years old and black or Hispanic, you ain't been happy for 50 years, man.
That's right.
So what makes you think you're going to have a Happy New Year? What do you think is going to change in 2 days? Talking about Happy New Year's, man. Listen. It's not gonna work. Go ahead.
Subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him
And listen,
with
man. Many times did the Lord deliver us. If you read through the book of Judges, do you know how much times we got delivered out of slavery? Plenty of times, man. All these nations had us captives. We would cry out to the Lord. What would he do? Send saviors to come and gather us. Then when we get back to the land, what will we do? Worship idols again? Go ahead.
to deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity.
And listen, man. We was brought low for our iniquity, man. We was brought low for the evil that we do, man. We was brought low for our transgressions, man. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry.
And listen, man. The Lord cared about our affliction when he heard our cry, man, and delivered us. And listen, right about now, we ain't crying, man. We ain't crying, man. We here loving life, living our best life. Back then, our people cried out to the Lord because they was oppressed, man. They understood that these heathens ruling over them horribly. Can you just type in Janice and just read the what's it called for me, Janice? So we're gonna go a bit into New Year's. So we're gonna read on a bit about Janice. Listen, everyone just ignore Stephen. He's childish. Childish. So we're gonna pull up Janice because this is the God who what our people ignorantly worshipped, unknowingly worshipped yesterday. Some of them are still coming in drunk. Oh, I'm hungover. And telling them I'm hungover. I'm hungover. Go ahead.
Right. Janus from the Wikipedia.
So this is Janice. We're gonna give you like a brief history of who Janice is and how they came up with the name and whatnot.
Right. Janus from the Wikipedia. Janus in ancient Roman religion and myth. Janus is the god of beginnings.
Janice is what?
The god of beginnings.
It says Janus is the god of beginnings. So this is why everybody's like Happy New Year because they believe a new year starts when in the winter. They believe the new year started in the winter solstice, right? The winter solstice. They believed yeah, a new year started then. So Janus is the god of new beginnings. So they what believe that new beginnings is attached to this god, and the new year is attached to this god. Janus, go ahead.
Beginning, gates, time.
And listen, beginnings, gates, and time, and this is why everyone's always saying, "Oh, during the new year." What did they say? During the new year, chances are what you're doing at the start of the new year, you're going to be doing all the way through the new year. This is what they say to you, because Janus had two faces: one looking to the past, one looking to the future, and so forth. Go ahead.
Duality, doorways.
And listen, man, they believe Janus what opened up doorways. So this is why they say Happy New Year. They say Happy New Year. They're wishing you a Happy New Year because they want Janus to open up doorways for you, man, and so forth. Go ahead.
Doorways, passages, and endings.
Listen, man, they want Janus to open up passages to you and whatnot. So everyone's like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And this is why people try not to bring in the New Year depressed. They try not to start their so called New Year depressed because they believe usually what you're doing at the end of the year is how your year is going to start. And the people make what? All these resolutions because it's a new beginning to them. To them, January is a new beginning. So you mean to tell me you're going to wait a whole year for one day to start afresh? Listen, man, if I didn't like something about my life, I'm going to change it immediately, man. I don't need to wait for Janice to tell me when to change my life, man. I'm going to change my life immediately, man. If there's something about my life that I don't like, you think I'm going to wait till December 31st, midnight to change it? And then when the clock changes to the 1st of January, you think I'm going to be like, okay, I'm a changed man now? That's a damn lie, man. Listen, people only change for like, what, 2 days? This is why in January, guess what happens? My New Year's resolution. Listen, every single year, my New Year's resolution is to go to the gym. Have you noticed that's the same one every year?
Yeah, so
So come tomorrow, the gym's gonna be packed. The gym's gonna be so full tomorrow, man. The gym is gonna be packed, and guess what's gonna happen? By February, it's gonna be empty again, man.
that's right.
And then next year, those same people are gonna have the same New Year's resolution. Go ahead.
Um, Janus presided over the beginning and ending of conflict, and hence war and peace. The gates of a building in Rome named after him were opened in the time of war and were closed to mark the arrival of peace.
Listen,
As
man,
a
all of this is nonsense with all this Janus and whatnot. Janus is just some idol that the Romans worshipped and whatnot. Pull me the part where it says Janus, the name January after Janus. Listen, all these you see, all these months is named after what? All these months is named after Roman gods. All the days is named after Roman gods. Like what? Monday was what? The moon god.
that's right.
Monday was the moon god. I think Tuesday was the god of love, right? And I think Wednesday was what Wooden.
Yeah,
Wednesday was Wooden. Thursday was four. Was it four for Thursday?
that's right.
Thursday was four. Friday was Frigg. Was Friday was Frigg, right?
That's right.
Saturday was Saturn, and then Sunday was the sun's day. Listen, man, you can look all that up, man, and then all the months as well. July's named after who? Julius Caesar.
That's right.
July is named after Julius Caesar. Listen, all the months as well. The Romans and all these things name days and months after themselves. So you can look up all these things, man. It ain't hard to find. All you do is go on Google and it will tell you, oh yeah, it was named after this. It was named after that. Go ahead.
All right. Janus was the Roman god of doors, choices beginning and ending January after him.
It's called what?
January after him.
It's called January after him. Listen, man, these Romans got so much gods and worship so much different gods that each month is dedicated to a different god, man. And each day is dedicated to a different god, man. The name this month after Janus. So what? January is dedicated to Janus, man. All these months is named after different gods. Go ahead.
Um, the
That's it. You can do any more on that about it.
where he is usually depicted with two aces.
And yeah, man, he's an idol, like a clay stone idol with two faces, one facing that way, one facing that way. Two faces, man. That's who you worship yesterday, man. Some god with two faces. Go ahead.
He looks both toward the future and the past
He looked towards the future and the past. Go ahead.
at the same time.
At the same time, because he had two faces, one in front, one behind. Go ahead.
One face looks back to the year departed, and one looks forward to the new year ahead.
And listen, man, one looks back to the year departed. And listen, black man, you claiming it's a new year, but you're still in the year departed, man. You're still in that year of the past. You're still doing the same things you was doing 20 days ago, talking about new year, new me. You can drop that. Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And that's Janus in brief, man. Some fake god with two faces that people used to worship back then. Whereas nowadays, black people don't even know about Janus and whatnot. Obviously, all we want to do is just party. To us, it's just a good party. That's all it is to us. Just to party, 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 party. That's all we do, man. Like black people couldn't tell you why to go out on New Year's, why to go out for Christmas. They couldn't tell you, man. To us, it's just a party, man. To black people, everything's a party and a celebration. Not realizing the Lord don't want you to celebrate these things.
That's right.
Black people think they're not worshiping it. They say they're not worshiping it, but their actions is actions of worship, man. All of this dancing and listen, you're dancing in front of Janus, man. That's what you do, man. You're counting down in front of Janus, praying Janus opens doors for you. When the Lord's saying, listen, I'm the only one that can open doors for you, man. The God of the Bible, Yahweh is the only one who can open doors for you, man.
That's right.
Not some Janus. Janus can't open nothing, man. There's an idol. It needs to be carried. Go ahead.
Exodus 20 and 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Listen, man. This is the Lord, our God, saying, I brought you out of the land of Egypt. Not them Egyptian gods, not Janus. The Lord brought us out of the land of Egypt, man. Listen, man. They say people look at Janus like Janus can open doors. Listen, the Lord opened the door for us to come out of Egypt, man.
That's right.
It wasn't Janus that brought us out of Egypt. If it was for Janus, black people would still be in Egypt right now, man. Still be slaves. But the Lord brought us out of Egypt. Go ahead.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. And listen, the reason we're still in bondage is because black people rather worship Janus, man. You've got the greatest God on the face of the earth, the only God on the face of the earth, and you'd not worship him. You'd rather worship something with two faces, one looking forward, one looking backwards, which is so silly, man. Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt what?
Have no other gods before me.
And listen, man, you put Janus before the Most High yesterday, man. You put Nimrod before the Most High last week, man. In April, you're gonna put flipping the Mother of Heaven and whatnot before the Most High, man. Worshipping bunnies and all of this nonsense, doing bunny hunts and all of this stuff, talking about what did they say? We're celebrating the resurrection. What did they say? That's what they say. We're celebrating the resurrection with bunnies. And listen, man, the Lord don't want black people to do that. Let the heathen do that, man. The Lord don't want you to do that. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
That's it on that. But basically, the Lord's saying he doesn't want us to make any graven image. A graven image is something that you sculpt up, something that you sculpt up and bow down to worship it and whatnot. That's what a graven image is, man. Janus is a graven image, man. Something which is sculpted up. That's what a graven image is. Drop that. Give me Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. So I'm gonna show you something else, man.
Exodus 12:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Hold on, this what?
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
So it says, this month shall be the beginning of months. Meaning this month is the start of a new year, man.
That's right.
That's what it's saying. And this ain't talking about in December. This ain't talking about the 1st of January. This is in April, man. We're going to get that. Read on.
It shall be the first month of the year to you.
It shall be what?
The first month of the year to you.
Listen, man. The Lord said, this shall be the first month of the year to you, meaning to the Israelites. Listen, let Esau believe January 1st is a new year, man.
That's right.
To him, January 1st is a new year to him. Let him have that. That's fine. He can have that if he wants. But for black and Hispanic people, the Lord said, this shall be the beginning of months to you, man. Meaning he gave us when the new year is. Obviously, there's like what? There's like so many different new years in different cultures, right? There's a Chinese New Year. When's their one again?
November, October.
Yeah. Listen, the Chinese New Year, they've got their one where you see them dancing around with the dragon. You see about 20 grown adults under this dragon dancing around. He's in the right dancing around the street like this with the dragon. And then this is what they say. They worship idols as well. This is why they'll say to you, oh, it's the year of the dog. The next year, it's the year of the cow. Then it's the year of the dragon. Then it's the year of the chicken. Each year is the year of a different animal, which lets you know that they're stupid as well. So one nation has what? The year of the dog, the year of the cat. Whatever the hell that means, the year of the dog. I don't even know what the hell that means. It just sounds stupid. Then you got one nation thinking, oh, a New Year's is in January. And then you got the Islamic New Year. When did they believe theirs is again? The Islamic New Year. Theirs is different also.
Yeah. That time. But theirs is in the winter time as well.
Winter time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, theirs is probably around that season as well. And they believe I can't remember what year do they believe they're in? Is it 1400 and something? It must be 1500 or something like that. Yeah, so they believe during a different year and whatnot. So every culture believes a new year is a different time, but we've got the living God who tells us the right time of when the new year is. And read that again, is going to tell us.
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Go ahead.
It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak unto all the congregation.
So it shall be the first month of the year to you, not January. It says this shall be the first month. Speak unto the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Unto the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb.
So now, the 10th day of this month, we meant to take to us a lamb, which is the Passover, man. That's what the Lord's talking about right here. Read down to verse 8.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
Verse 8.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
Listen, man, that day, that same day, we was meant to eat the flesh, the Lord's Passover, man. That's what we were supposed to do. So keep in mind that the 10th day of the first month is the beginning of months to us, which is a new year. Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial.
So it says, this day shall be unto you as a memorial. So the 10th day of the first month was to be unto us as a memorial. Hold that, but give me Matthew chapter 26 and verse 17. So now it says the 10th day of the first month is to be to us as a memorial. And I'm going to show you why Christ kept it as a memorial.
Matthew 26 and 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread.
Basically, this is the Passover, but it calls it the Feast of Unleavened Bread because both the feasts is near enough intertwined. So that's what it says, that it's not a contradiction like people believe. Go ahead. Just means that obviously on that day, there was going to be eating unleavened bread that night. That's why it says that, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, but really this was the Passover. Go ahead.
The disciples came to Yahushua, saying unto him, where will that thou prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
Prepare to eat the what?
Eat the Passover.
So that's why it called it the Feast of Unleavened Bread there, because basically there was going to eat unleavened bread and the lamb for the Passover. And they come to him saying, where are we going to keep the Passover? And why are they keeping the Passover in the New Testament if the Old Testament's done away with? The reason why they're keeping the Passover is because what? In Exodus, it said what? This shall be a memorial forever. So this is why they're keeping the Passover, because it is a memorial forever. Go ahead.
And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand.
Hold on, Christ said what?
My time is at hand.
Christ said, my time is at hand, meaning what? He's about to die for the nation of Israel. His time's at hand. Go ahead.
I will keep the Passover with my disciples.
He said, I will keep the Passover with my disciples. Go ahead.
With my disciples. And the disciples did as Yahushua had appointed them.
Meaning they followed his orders. Go ahead.
And they made ready the Passover.
And they made ready the Passover. Go ahead.
Now, when the even was come, he sat down with the 12.
What verse you at?
Verse 21.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
so now when the even had come for the Passover, he sat down with the 12. Go ahead.
And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
So listen, man. Christ is sitting down at the Passover and he said, one of you shall betray me. He was on about Judas. Judas was going to betray him to die. Go ahead.
Betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful.
And they was looking around like sorrowful, thinking, hey, go ahead.
And began every one of them to say, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me.
And that was Judas. What verse you at?
Verse 23.
Go ahead, read on.
Verse 24. The Son of Man goeth as it is written.
It says the Son of Man goeth as it is written. So Christ is eating the Passover, basically his last meal right before he dies. Jump down to verse 31.
Verse 31. Then said Yahushua unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite.
So it said, all of ye shall be offended because of me this night. Go ahead.
For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad.
And listen, man, Christ was saying, yo, it's written that they're going to smite the shepherd. Who was the shepherd? Yahushua was the shepherd. And it goes, the sheep was scattered. And if you read it, many of his disciples left him, man. After that, many of his, well, not his disciples, many of his followers, many of his following, once that happened, many of them left and started to do their own thing and whatnot. Go ahead.
But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee.
It says, after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Go ahead.
Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended.
So Peter's saying, yo, all men's going to be offended because of you. Never will I. I ain't going to be offended. I'm down. I'm loyal. I'm this. I'm that. Go ahead.
Yahushua said unto him, verily to thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.
Listen, man. Christ said, listen, before the cock crows, you're going to deny 3 times, man. And if you read on, you'll see it because he denied him 3 times. But read on. That's not the point I'm getting at with the scripture, but go ahead.
Verse 35, Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples.
Also said all the others. Go ahead.
Verse 36, then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder.
So Yahushua said, sit here because I'm going to go and pray. Because this was the night when he was to die for the nation of Israel, man. He's praying, man. Imagine knowing you're going to die, knowing the pain you're going to go through, the torture. Go ahead. So he said, let me pray and use that wait here. Go ahead.
And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee.
Go ahead.
And began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
And listen, man, he began to be sorrowful and very heavy, meaning what? Imagine knowing you're going to die, the pain you're going to go through, the humiliation, getting beaten, your face spat. He knew that he was going to go through that, man. So it was sorrowful and very heavy, man. Because imagine it's playing on your mind like, this is going to happen. Listen, black man, you know when you're on bail and you know you're going back to jail soon, you're sorrowful and heavy, man. Because you know what's ahead of you, man. You know what's going to take place. Yeah, I wish I felt the same thing, man. The only difference is you're going to jail because you're a criminal. He's innocent, man.
That's right.
So he felt heavy and sorrowful, man. With you, obviously, you deserve to go to jail for the crimes that you're committing. This man here didn't deserve to no punishment. So he's sorrowful and heavy. Go ahead.
Then said he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death.
Listen, my soul's exceeding sorrowful, man. He's upset, man. He's sad and whatnot. Go ahead.
Tarry ye here and watch with me.
He said, tarry ye here and keep watch, man. And this is why the UPK has a strict militant order right here. What's Christ gave them right here? He's put them on Shema, man. That's what he's done. He said, tarry ye here and keep watch, man. He's put them on Shema. You see at camp when a brother's on post. Christ put these men on post, man. Go ahead.
And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, Oh my Father.
And this is how you know Jesus Christ ain't God, because he prayed to God here, man. He said, oh my Father, go ahead.
If it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
And he said, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Meaning, if it be possible, if it be your will, let it pass from me. But if you need it done, I'll do it. Go ahead. That's what he said.
Nevertheless, not as I will.
He said, nevertheless, not as I will. Meaning, go ahead.
But as thou wilt.
But as thou will. If you want this cup to pass from me, make this cup pass from me. But if not, I'm gonna carry out the mission, man. I'm gonna follow the order that you gave me, man. Go ahead.
And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep.
And listen, man, they were supposed to be keeping watch. They were supposed to be on Shamar and post. And guess what? They was asleep, man. They were supposed to be keeping watch, because what happens? You meant to protect the highest ranking man in charge, man. And Christ was the highest ranking there. And he told them, keep watch. Keep watch if anyone's coming and whatnot. These men had fell asleep because obviously they was out with Christ doing them long trips. Listen, if you're in the I.S.U.P.K, you know why Peter and them fell asleep, because sometimes you're doing them long trips, man. Sometimes you're traveling all the way to London. And then by the time you get to London, you're half asleep. You're setting up the camp equipment half asleep because you've done traveled all night and been awake. Listen, man, only in the I.S.U.P.K you will understand how tired Peter and them was. But obviously in these fake Israelite groups where you just type on the internet all day, obviously they don't understand these scriptures. So what they're reading, they can't make it come to life. But in the UPK, everything we're reading comes to life, man. Because we actually live in it, man. Peter and these men, listen, man, that's the story of our life being tired, man. Because we're constantly on the go, man. No rest, no whatnot. Go ahead.
And he cometh unto his disciples and findeth them asleep.
And found them asleep, man, because these men were on the road all day, man. Go ahead. And listen, he found them asleep. You know why they were so tired? Because it's Passover, man. You know how tired we are during Passover. Listen, Passover, nobody gets no sleep, man. Everybody's up. Your eyes is stinging because you ain't had no sleep. By the time you rest your eyes, you have to get up and get ready for the feast, the unleavened bread class. You have to get up and roll with a brother there. You have to get up and handle this, handle that. Listen, man. What Peter was going through right here. We how tired these are. Well, listen, man. We can relate in here. Go ahead.
Saith unto Peter, what? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
Listen, man. Your house said, look, man. Couldn't you watch for 1 hour? Go ahead.
Verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Meaning these men, the flesh is weak. Go ahead.
He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
Listen, man. Christ was down, man. He was loyal to the Father, man. He said, you know what? I'll do what I have to do, man. But obviously, knowing you're gonna die, you're gonna be sad, and you know you're not gonna want to go through it. But I said, you know what? I'll take it, man. I'll do it. How much people can do something knowing they're gonna die, man? He knew he was gonna die, man, and he went head on, man. Go ahead. And he handled it like a G, man. He went head on, man. He didn't, bitch up and whatnot. Go ahead.
Verse 43. And he came and found them asleep again.
And listen, man, these niggas was tired, man. Peter and them fell asleep again. Go ahead.
For their eyes were very heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed.
Sorry, let them sleep. Go ahead.
The third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples and said unto them, sleep on now and take your rest.
So he said, look, man, just get some rest. Get some rest, man. Sometimes you get that call from Captain Bishop, say, yo, go get some rest. You know that call. And you say, go get some rest. Listen, man, when you get that call, you better take that rest. Because next week you probably won't get that rest. So you better take that rest when you get it, man. Go ahead.
Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners.
Listen, man, this is when Christ is about to die, man. Go ahead.
Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me.
Go ahead.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves.
And listen, man, he came with all the Romans to come and take him, came and betrayed him with a salute. When it says kiss, it just means a salute, like a touch, like a firm, whatnot. Go ahead.
From the priests and the elders of the people.
Go ahead.
Now,
what verse yet?
Verse 48.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, he that betrayeth him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he, hold him fast.
So the same as he, hold him tight, man. Meaning the one I'm going to salute, that's the one. Judas thought it was slick. He tried to do it, but try to make out like he didn't do it. Just thinking, the one that I'm going to touch, that's the one. Go ahead.
And
which lets you know this, man, that when Yahushua was here, man, he didn't stand out to any of the other brothers, man. Because if he did stand out like you Christians like to make out, and like he looked so different, and the whole world knew he was this, and the whole world knew he was that, these people, they knew exactly who he was, man. Get me? They didn't know which one they was coming to take, whether it's Peter, whatnot. So Judas had to what? Salute him and betray him, man. He had to salute him so they would know, all right, this is the one. Which lets you know Yahasha and Peter probably look similar and whatnot. Go ahead. Which lets you know he didn't stand out too much like people make out. With like all these pictures that people got under them internet. Go ahead.
And forthwith,
Which lets you know that what Jesus Christ would have looked like what a brother in the UPK, man. Meaning what you don't know which one's which until someone says their name or whatnot. Go ahead.
and forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him.
And listen, man, he came and saluted him, man, praised him and saluted him. Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him.
And they did what?
And took him.
What verse you at?
Verse about the 50th.
Yeah. So basically, they laid hands on him and they took him. So now, Yahushua died this night, right? What night was this?
This was Passover night.
This was the Passover night, right? So, and in Exodus it says what a new year is what Passover month, right?
That's right.
So how on earth is Christians celebrating the new year in January and then celebrating Christ in April? How does that make sense, man? Listen, they're a few months off, man. The Bible says what? They took Christ Passover night, man. And Passover is when in the beginning of months. Passover is around March, April times, which means obviously a new year is March, April times. So how are Christians having what? A new year in January and celebrating their Easter in March, April? The timing don't even make, even according to the Bible, their timing makes no sense, man. Go ahead.
I've got precept of Exodus 13 and 4. This day came ye out in the month Abib.
This what?
This day came ye out in the month Abib.
And the month Abib is what, like end of March, April, the month Abib. This day came ye out. This is the day when we came out of Egypt. Go ahead.
I got the lexical.com.
Go ahead.
You know, in the ancient Hebrew calendar, the first month of the ecclesiastical year and the seventh of the year corresponding the latter part of March and the early part of April.
The what?
The latter part of March and the early part of April.
Says a new year is the latter part of March and the early part of April. Now, if you're a Christian, you're just not following the Bible properly. Because if it says if it says that what Passover is around, no, Passover is the beginning of months, and then the lexicon saying, yo, that's the end part of March and the beginning of April, and a new year is meant to be the beginning of, well, the end of March, the beginning of April. How are you celebrating the new year in January? Listen, if you Christians are celebrating the new year in January, to make it more accurate, surely you would have to celebrate Easter in January as well. You'd have to celebrate them around the same time. How are you celebrating the new year? So you mean to tell me you follow the Bible? So the Passover time is what? Basically, a new year is January, and then Christ died around the New Year time, or the real New Year time, which is April. But you're celebrating that in April, which means what? You months off, man. It's not in context, man. Just by reading comprehension should let you Christians know that something's wrong with your times, man, and your dates. It should let you know that your times and your dates is off, man. There's inaccuracies in your times and dates. Your times and dates don't make no sense, man. Go ahead. Do you have anything else on it, or that was it? That was it on that. Your times and dates are off. Give me John chapter 3 and verse 1. Now I'm gonna show you how to become new, man. Let me show you how to become new. Beans is you want to become new so much. Beans is new year, new me so much. Let me show you how to become new.
John 3 and 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus.
There was a what?
A man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus. Nicodemus was a teacher of the law. Go ahead.
A ruler of the Jews.
Meaning what? This man was like a ruler of the Jews, meaning this man had authority. He was a ruler of the Jews. He was like what? One of your religious leaders today. Go ahead.
The same came to Yahushua by night.
Came by night in the night time, because obviously, if he's a ruler, he don't want to be seen asking another man, so how does this work? He don't want to be seen. So his came in the night when there's less people around. Because if he's meant to be a ruler that believes something totally different to Yahushua, and he's listening to him, and his people see it, maybe they would stop following him. So that's why he came by night. Go ahead.
and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God,
So he said, "Yo, Rabbi, we know you're a teacher, come from God." Go ahead.
for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him.
And listen, man, the same way they came to Yahushua and said that, people come to the UPK and say, "Use like a men of God," but they don't. They don't want to, they don't want to say it outright. They want to do it behind the scenes. They want to hide and do it and whatnot. When really they know this is where the truth's at, man.
That's right.
Everybody, know, and listen, it's blatant that this is where the truth's at. Because when shit hits the fan, excuse my French, when stuff hits the fan and people's got real life problems, this is the first place where they come, man. They pick up the phone, and this is the first place where the phone. That church that they're sitting in, they know that that church can't help them. If they thought their pastor had the truth, they would go to him to answer their problems. But no, they come here for us to answer their problems because they know this is the truth. But obviously, what they want to do is be like Nicodemus and come by night and don't want to, come openly. But really, they're on the phone and whatnot, asking all the questions. Listen, man, a ton of these fake Israelites is watching our classes and taking notes. How do I know? Because some of them tell me, "Oh yeah, I saw that." When this is what did you say? "Oh yeah, I saw that tape that you done." And listen, I can't say the same for them because I don't know what tape they've done, man.
That's right.
I couldn't give a damn about what tape they've done. They're non-existent to me, man. But they watch everything, man. They watch the lectures and everything. And then guess what happens? The same things that we be bringing out, you see them teaching it in their classes. You hear about them teaching it and whatnot, trying to teach it. Listen, man, the same things that we teach in here, they can say it word for word, but the way everything that they're saying is incorrect, man. Even though they're saying it word for word, everything that they're saying is incorrect, man. This is the home of the truth. There's only one, man. There's not no 10 different places to be. There's just one place to be. Go ahead. And Nicodemus understood this, and this is why he came to Christ by night. Now, if Nicodemus knew he was in the truth and knew that people come to him, he wouldn't come to Yahushua saying, "Oh, we know that you're a teacher sent from God." He wouldn't say that. But he's seen the works of Yahushua. He didn't want to reverence him in the day, so he came by night. Go ahead.
Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again.
Except to what?
A man be born again.
Listen, man, you want to become brand new, new year, new me. How about you be born again first, man? That's what you do. That's your first step. Except a man be born again. Go ahead.
He cannot see the kingdom of God.
Lest the man be born again, he can't see the kingdom of God, man. How do you be born again? You have to be like a child again, man. You have to be like a baby again. You have to unlearn all that nonsense that you've learned. You have to stop doing all that nonsense that you've done, man. You have to be born again, man. Meaning you have to be like a newborn baby that doesn't know anything, that learns like a baby. You see how you say to a child, "Don't touch that, it's hot." You have to be like that, man. Go ahead.
Verse 6, that which is born of the flesh is flesh.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh. What does that mean? Everybody's got a mother and father. That's how you hear. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. Now, Christ is breaking it down for him. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. You've got a mother and father. Yeah, you're born by flesh, but you have to be born by the spirit and water, man. You have to be born by this doctrine of Yahushua, man. You have to be born into this truth, man. You have to become new and pick up this Bible and learn again under the men who's over you, man. That's what you have to do. Go ahead.
And that which is born of the spirit is spirit.
That which is born of the spirit is spirit. You have to be born of the spirit, man. Go ahead. And this ain't talking about no water baptism. This ain't talking about dunking yourself in water. This is a misconception, man. Go ahead.
Verse 7, marvel not that I say unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth.
Listeth just means where it wants to. The wind goes where it wants to go. You don't know where the wind's going. You just can hear it. Go ahead.
And thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh.
And listen, man, that wind, you can't tell where it's coming from. You can just hear it. You know, when it's windy, you can't say, "Oh yeah, the wind's coming from there and whatnot," or "it's going there." You can just hear it and whatnot. Go ahead.
And whether it goeth, so is everyone that is born of the spirit.
So is everyone that is born of the spirit, man. Listen. A man that ain't spiritual, man, won't understand us. So this is why a lot of people talk nonsense and be like, look how you lot dress, look what you lot do, look how you lot do this. They can't understand it, man. Because the same way they don't know where the wind's going, they don't understand the spiritual man either, man. Most people don't understand why we don't want them to celebrate New Year's, Christmas, Easter, why the Lord don't want them to celebrate it. Most people don't understand it. You know why? Because they ain't spiritual enough, man. All they can see is it's an extra day to party. It's an extra day off from work. Let's get the champagne bottles out. That's all they can see. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? Yahushua answered and said unto him, art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things?
Listen, man. Christ said, yo, you meant to be a master. You meant to know all these things, and you don't know these things. Meaning what? Christ is telling Nicodemus, yo, you don't know this. You ain't qualified to teach, man. That's what he's saying, man. And this is why we say every fake Israelite group ain't qualified to teach, man. Because they don't know these things. They think they know, but they don't know these things. They ain't qualified to teach, man. Christ is telling Nicodemus the same thing. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto thee, we speaketh that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not.
Listen, man. Christ saying, if I tell you earthly things and you believe not, go ahead.
How shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
Listen, man. This is why most people don't believe it. Most people mock us, man. When we tell them, look, a black man's coming back to save us, man. He's coming out of the sky with 200 million angels. They laugh, man. You know why? Because they don't even understand earthly things. So they definitely ain't going to understand heavenly things, man. Most people don't know, most people don't even know how much bones is in their own body, but they feel like they know everything about what's out of space and whatnot. Because the sun's this far from here, and without the sun and the moon and the blah blah blah. Listen, man, you don't even know how much bones is in your body. So how do you know about all of that, man? How do you know about all of that and you don't even know how much bones is in your body that's with you every day? Listen, man. Once you know that, then you can come with all these questions which you think is so hard to answer. You don't even know that, man. Find out that first before you find out anything else. Go ahead.
Verse 13.
90% of people don't even know how their nerve system works. They don't know how their nerve system works, but they think they know the mind of the Most High. Come on, man. You don't even know how your own nerve system works, man. And you think you know about God and the angels and the earth and the moon and whatnot. Listen, man, you don't know earthly things, so you sure don't know the heavenly things, man. Once you know the earthly things, then come and ask about the heavenly things. Go ahead.
And no man have ascended up to heaven, but he that cometh down from heaven.
Exactly. That's it, pretty much it on that, innit? So basically, you have to be born again, meaning what? You have to become like a baby again. You have to come to class with your notepad. You see that notepad that you had before? Throw that notepad away, get a new one. Because all them precepts you got in that notepad, which you've been learning off the internet from to everybody, you need to throw that notepad away, man. Because people what? Precept to their own destruction, man. They ain't understanding the Bible. People read one word here and think because it's got the word there, it correlates. Listen, man, it don't mean that, man. You need to come to men who have studied this word, who know this Bible. You can't just be taking notes. You sitting down with your notepad thinking you know something. You can't just be sitting down with your notepad thinking you know something. You have to come to class. You have to burn the old notepad and you have to be like, you have to be brand new. You can't be coming here thinking you're an adult with that same old notepad talking about, well, this says this says that. You have to become new, man. Drop that. Give me a Second Chronicles chapter 30 and verse 9.
But Second Chronicles 39.
Come on. Come on.
Second Chronicles 30 and 9. For if ye turn again unto the Lord your brethren, and your children shall find ashen.
Listen, man. The Lord said, if we turn back to Him, the Lord shall be. Us and our children will find compassion, man. We'll find mercy. The reason we ain't getting no mercy and why we die in a horrible death is because we don't want to turn back to the Lord. We don't want to turn back to the Lord. Why? Because Christmas is too good, man. Easter's too good, man. New Year's Eve's too good. New Year's Day's too good. We would rather celebrate all that. Go ahead.
Compassion before them and lead them. Find compassion before them that lead them captive, so that they shall come again into this land.
Listen, man, if we serve God, we would be back in our land in no time. But because we don't want to, we have to be in cold, cold England, man. England where it's freezing and raining and snowing every day, man. Have to go work as slavery 9 to 5. Ain't black people tired of waking up to get to rushing to work? And listen, man, I'm sure tired of it. I should be in Israel and a hammock somewhere. But obviously, us as a people don't want to turn back to God. What do we want to do? Go to New Year's Eve parties, go to New Year's Day parties, celebrate Christmas, Easter, and nonsense. That's what we want to do. When really, that's not what we should be doing, man. But that's what we choose to do. Go ahead. Anyone that should drop that one? Give me a Matthew chapter 9 and verse 10.
What's that? Matthew 9 and 10.
Can't Matthew 9 can't say. But you've already celebrated Christmas, so what can we do? All you can do is change, man. Don't celebrate it again. Be grateful enough that the Lord spared your life for you to hear that it was a sin, man. Not many people got to hear that them celebrating Christmas and New Year's was a sin. There was plenty of bloodshed last night, man. Plenty of it, bloodshed. Plenty of people locked up. You be grateful that the Lord had mercy on you for you to see what you done was wrong, man. And how do you repay the Lord? By changing your life, man. You talk about you talk about New Year, new you. Be a new person, man. Be a new creature, man. We're gonna get that scripture after. Go ahead.
Matthew 9 and 10. And it came to pass, as Yahushua sat at meat in the house, behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him.
And listen, Christ sat down to eat, man. And many publicans and sinners came to sit down with him, man. And this is why in the UK, we're gonna like this is why in the UPK sometimes there's a what? Come and have breakfast with the UPK, man. So those people that ain't in the truth can come around us and see what the truth's about, man. We ain't like these fake Israelite groups that think they're so righteous and so worthy that they're not allowed to be around the sinners of their people. Listen, man. How are they supposed to change their ways if no one teaches them? The only way they're going to change their ways is by someone teaching them, man. And that's what we're doing here. We know our people do all manner of evil, but it's our job to stop them from doing evil.
That's right.
And if we cut ourselves from them and say we can't be around them because they're evil, that means they're never going to change their ways, man. That means you're better. That means if that's your stance, there's no point these fake Israelites going to camp, man. If that's your stance, our job is to fix our people, man. So we will be around them, teaching them about God, man. That's what we will do, teaching them, yo, New Year's is wrong. Eat some food with them. While we're eating food, say, yo, Christmas is wrong. Then when they ask why, we can break it down. Really, it's not Jesus Christ's birthday. And as an Israelite, we don't celebrate birthdays. It's Nimrod's birthday. Most of the people are calling evil don't know any better. Or most of them ain't done no research. So it's our job to teach them. Now, once you've taught them and they still go and do it, then obviously the blood's not on your hands, like it says in the book of Ezekiel. But if you just sit there and push your nose, turn your nose up at them, and just rant all day about how evil they are, but you're not doing nothing about it, you ain't fixing the problem, man. Black people need to be told the truth, man. If you ain't telling them the truth, how do you expect them to know any better? And this is why in here we teach the truth and we tell them the truth, man. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, and when the Pharisees saw it,
and the Pharisees is like your Christians today, these fake Israelites today. That's the Pharisees today. Go ahead. When they saw it, go ahead.
They said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners?
See, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners? Meaning what? These Pharisees thought they was too nice, man. These Pharisees thought they was so righteous and whatnot. Just imagine if nobody sat down and spoke with us, we wouldn't be in the truth right now, man.
That's right.
we would still be out there doing whatever. But once upon a time, we was publicans and sinners, man. Someone had to give us a flyer. Someone had to speak to us in order for us to change our life. Now, if no one had spoke to us, we would still be publicans and sinners, or we would be dead in the grave, man. And we love our people so much that we don't want to see them dead in the grave. So we will sit down with these publicans and sinners and get them to change their life. We will tell them to get to class. Whereas some people look at them and be like, nah, I'm not giving him a flyer. He looks too far gone. Listen, man, once you got breath in your lungs, man, you're not too far gone, man. You can change your life. Go ahead.
But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that behold need not a physician.
Listen, man, Christ said, yo, those that are whole don't need a physician. What's a physician? A doctor? A man that's not sick doesn't need a doctor, man. But a doctor is for a man who's sick. And in here, we are doctors for the sick of Israel, man.
That's right.
We are the physicians for the sick of Israel, man. Now, your Christian pastor, he thinks he's whole. Okay, then that means we're not for him because he's whole. He don't need a physician. Well, the man that's on drugs, we understand that he needs a physician, and we're a physician. The man that's an alcoholic, he needs a physician, and we're a physician, man. The man that's low, sinning, doing all manner of wickedness, he needs a physician, man, and we are here for him to fix him, man, to make him whole, man. Go ahead.
But they that are sick, but go ye and learn what that meaneth.
Go ye and learn what that meaneth. Go ahead.
I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
I will what?
I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
Listen, man. Yahushua would rather have mercy on you, man. He'd rather you change your life. Have mercy and not sacrifice, man. And that's like us. We'd rather you change your life than die. We don't want you to die. You see all these people ranting, saying, oh, they deserve to die, blah, 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 blah. Saying that, so what? At one time, what? We didn't deserve to die. Listen, man. Us as a whole nation deserved to die, man. But Yahushua took it upon himself to die for us, man. When really, that should have been us that died. But he died for us. So nobody should be boasting, thinking they're better than anybody else. Talking about this man deserves to die. This man deserves to die. If that man deserves to die, we deserve to die also. All of us deserve to die because we've all done evil. We've all done wickedness. Every last one of us deserves to die. Go ahead.
For I am come not to call the righteous.
For I am come what?
Not to call the righteous.
Listen, man, if you're so righteous and you think you know it all, and you believe you're a Christian that believes you're already saved, and believes you're all a this and the above. Obviously, we ain't come for you then, because you know you've got the way. Clearly, you've got the way, and you know everything. Go ahead.
But sinners to repentance.
But what?
But sinners to repentance.
And listen, man, everybody that celebrated New Year's, we here to call you to repentance, man. Repent means what? To change. You're talking about New Year, New Me. Nothing's going to change with that New Year, New Me slogan. But we here to call sinners to repentance, man. We here to call sinners to repentance. In here, we going to get you to change, man. How do we get you to change? We get you to change by getting you to serve God, man. By getting you to put down these pagan holidays. Put down every nonsense that you've been taught. Go ahead.
Then came to him the disciples of John, saying, why do we and the Pharisees fast off?
That's going into the basically them saying, why don't Christ's disciples fast? Basically, Christ said to them, don't worry, the time's coming when they will fast, but they're not going to fast right now because what they're with the bridegroom and whatnot. When the bridegroom goes, then will they fast. That's what it says to them. But give me Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16.
Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishes.
What do fishers do? Fishers do what? Catch fish, right? Fishers have a net or a fishing hook, and they catch fish. The Lord said I will send many fishers, man. Now's the time for fishing. Meaning, this is what we're doing, man. We're fishing our people out of the world, man. That's what we're doing. We're sending for many fishers. Go ahead. To fish our people out of the world, man. Like how you fish a fish out of water, like how you get a fish out of water in the net. Listen, we're trying to get our people out this world, man. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters.
So listen, man. Now's the time when the Lord's sending for many fishers. It's fishing season, meaning what? The Lord wants every black and Hispanic to come in the truth, man. But if they don't want to come into the truth, the time's coming when what? You see, like how now we're fishing and nobody's not listening. Listen, man. It's going to be too late when it's time for the hunting season, man. The Lord's going to send out a hunting season as well. Go ahead.
And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them.
Listen, man. Now's the time for fishing, trying to save blacks and Hispanics. But soon the Lord's going to send out hunters. And what do hunters do? Just look at Esau when he hunts the wild. What does he do? He kills everything he finds, man. They call it, I'm going hunting. They go harm and kill everything that they find. The Lord's going to send out many hunters, man. Go ahead.
Hunters, and they shall hunt them.
Listen, man. We're fishing. The niggas don't want to come into school. One day the Lord's going to send out the hunters, man. And listen, you're going to wish you was fished in that day. Go ahead.
Hunt them from every mountain.
And listen, man, every high place they try to hide, everywhere they try to go, you can try hide in the shard and the top floor. Listen, man, people, these hunters is going to run up the walls. They're going to be up them walls quicker than the lift goes up, man. And they're going to hunt them. Go ahead.
And from every hill.
They're going to hunt them from every hill. You're going to go to one place and hide. You're going to hide somewhere and think, maybe I'm the one that's escaped it. You're going to think, maybe I'm the one that's escaped the hunters. Nah, man. Listen, the Lord sees everything, man. And the Lord's going to send for many hunters in that day. Go ahead.
And out of the holes of the rocks.
And out of the holes of the rocks, you're going to hide. You're going to try cover yourself. You're going to try go underground. You're going to hide everywhere, man. Hide in abandoned buildings. You're going to shut the door. The Lord's going to send these hunters to come and get you out, man. Honestly, if I was you, I would get in the truth, man. I mean, already people say the I.S.U.P.K, they're so aggressive. Just imagine how it's going to be when it's hunting season, man. I say you get into school, man. At the moment, we're fishing, man. But one day the Lord's going to say, you know what? No more fishing, hunting. Listen, you want to be in the truth at that time, man. You don't want to be hunted. You don't want to be prey. You don't want to be the person running for your life, man. I'm telling you, you don't want to be doing that, but it's your call. I mean, what can I say? Give me Acts chapter 17 and verse 16. Now, the same thing that Paul was dealing with, we're dealing with right now, man. Black people worshiping unknown other gods unknowingly. Paul was dealing with the same thing, man. What, you think people wasn't worshiping idols in them days? Of course there was. You think people wasn't worshiping false gods in them days? Of course there was.
Acts 17 and 16. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in
So
him
Paul was in Athens, which is where in Greece. That's where Paul was. Go ahead.
when he saw the city were only given to idolatry.
So Paul was there. Listen, the city was given to idolatry. Listen, we saw that same thing last night, man. We saw that same thing last week, Christmas. The whole city given to idolatry, man. Worshipping idols. Most people unknowingly worshipping idols. Because to tell you the truth, black people just see Christmas as a party, New Year's as a party, but they don't know that it's attached to some God that they're not meant to worship, man. It's attached to a God that they're not meant to serve. Go ahead.
Yeah. Therefore disputed he in the synagogues with the Jews.
And they disputed in the synagogue with the Jews, man. A synagogue is basically, it's like a place where people would gather to worship. Some people get a synagogue and a temple mixed up. It's two different things. A synagogue would be like just a place where the Israelites gathered to worship. Could be anywhere, and the temple is obviously the temple. People usually get the two mixed up. Go ahead.
And the devout persons.
And the devout persons, go ahead.
And in the market daily with them that met with him. Then certain philosophers.
And listen, certain philosophers. In Paul's time, there was certain philosophers, man. You go to Hyde Park, there's certain philosophers in Hyde Park, man. Everyone's a philosopher in Hyde Park. Listen, Paul, there was certain philosophers in Hyde Park, full of philosophers, man. Not just certain, full of them. Go ahead.
Philosophers of the Epicureans
I don't know what the hell that is, but go ahead.
and of the Stoics encountered him.
And listen, all these other people encountered him. These people come to battle him. Everyone's teaching whatever they want to teach. This sounds like Hyde Park to me. Go ahead.
And some said, "What will this babbler say?"
So they said, what will this babbler say? Meaning this man that just rambles on. That's what they'll say. What will this babbler say? Go ahead.
Others, some, he seemeth to be setting forth of strange gods.
So they said he seems to be setting forth of strange gods. They didn't know his doctrine. They just heard a part of it and thought, oh, this man worships strange gods. Because he was telling them about YAHWH because they couldn't grasp it. Go ahead.
Because he preached unto them YAHWH and the resurrection.
So they didn't understand it. It was strange to them. You know, it was strange to them because they've never heard about it. And they're in Greece where they're worshipping what? All these Greek gods, Greek mythology. That's what they're worshipping. They're into all of that stuff. So what Paul's bringing to them is new to their ears. They've never heard it. Go ahead.
And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus,
Go ahead.
saying, "May we know what this new doctrine."
Saying what? Made the what?
What this new doctrine whereof thou speakest.
So they said what this new doctrine is. Really, it's not a new doctrine. It's just new to them because they've never heard it before. That's why it's new to them. Meaning what? Every time we go to camp, that's a new doctrine to people around us because they've never heard it before. Christmas is against God. That's new to them because they've never heard it before. New Year's is against God. That's new to them because they've never heard it before. To us, this is old stuff, but to them people, it's new because they've never heard it before. So that's why they said, what's this new doctrine? Because they're used to worshiping Greek mythology and homosexuality and this Greek statue and that Greek statue and this and that. That's what they're used to worshiping. So Paul telling them, listen, man, this is the sketch, this is this and this is this. That's new to their ears. Go ahead.
For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears.
Strange is like what? Unknown. Someone that you like, strange is something unknown that you don't know. They said it's strange to their ears. And what we bring out at camp is strange to everyone's ears. No, sir. We saying that YAHWH is a black man. That's strange to everyone's ears, man. We saying that God's a black man. That's strange to everyone's ears. We saying God doesn't love everybody. That's strange to everyone's ears. We saying that you shouldn't interracial marry. That's strange to everyone's ears. Us like saying that you shouldn't celebrate Christmas is strange to everyone's ears. Saying you shouldn't put gifts on their Christmas tree. You shouldn't have a Christmas tree in your house. You shouldn't go out for New Year's and so forth. You shouldn't vote. All these things is strange to everyone's ears because they ain't heard these things before. So they're thinking, what the hell are them guys talking about? So they called Paul a babbler, and that's what they call us. All they do, this is how you know it's taught. This is how you know Paul was doing the same thing we're doing. Because what do they say about us when we go to camp? Oh, all y'all do is shout at white people on the microphone. All you do is shout at white people on the microphone. That's what they say. That's basically them calling us babblers. They say, you don't do no actions. All you do is shout on the microphone. That's what they say, man. Same thing they said to Paul is the same thing that they're saying to us right now, man. Which lets you know, man, the spirit of this Bible is one West, man. The one West is doing everything which is in this Bible, man. I.S.U.P.K is doing everything which is in this Bible. Everything the same, man. Read on. Which was at verse probably no, sir.
For thou bringest strange things to our ears.
Go ahead.
We would know, therefore, what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent all their time in the offing cows, but either to tell or hear.
Listen. That sounds like Speaker's Corner to me. Everybody spent no time in nothing else, whether to tell or hear something new. Now, why do people go to Speaker's Corner? Because they want to hear something new. Why do people go to Speaker's Corner? Because they want to tell something that they've read on the internet. Everybody's got a doctrine in Speaker's Corner, man. Listen, this place where Paul was sounds like Speaker's Corner today, man. If you don't believe me, just YouTube Speaker's Corner and you will see it's the same thing. People only go there to tell or hear something new. Everybody there with their camera to tell and hear something new, man. Go ahead.
And what's so funny about that is
Mm,
no one brings that fact. It's just like you
mm,
go there, like you meet some individuals, they like to argue. They don't
exactly.
care about resolving,
Mm,
doing the point. Just let's just argue. Like, I just feel like I want to argue, and that's what
because most of
speakers
them, yeah,
call it.
exactly. Most of them just want to look good on camera, man. Don't look good on camera, arguing their point, and they don't listen. Listen, I seen some Rasta man on. You see him? I don't listen. He didn't make no sense, man. He said, "What? Celestia ain't got a mom and a father." He said Celestia hasn't got a mom and a father, and you can Google it and it will tell you whose mother and father is. He said that. What did he say? Celestia. What did he say? Celestia is God. And listen, it's so confusing. I can't even remember what he said. Go ahead.
Also, with the guy who was debating with, said that he doesn't look like a Nigerian, and his Nigerian goes, so how does a Nigerian look? They asked that he said to him, do I look like a Jamaican? The guy goes, yeah, you do. Like it's all over the place.
See, this is the thing, man. All these people just go there just to hear the sound of their own voice, man. To go listen, they're in the wrong place, man. Complicating everything, man. If you're black or Hispanic, you just get in the I.S.U.P.K classes, man. That's what you do, man. Go ahead.
Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious.
And this is how you know this is black people, man. Because black people is superstitious, man. Black people don't walk on them three cracks on the ground. Why? Because they're superstitious. Black people don't walk under them road signs because they're superstitious. Black people get scared when they break a mirror because they're superstitious. Black people see one magpie and say, "Oh, I need to see another magpie, or I'm gonna get bad luck," because they're too superstitious. Black people believe that if a pigeon defecates on you, you're gonna be rich. You're gonna get money.
Something like that, yeah.
Listen, man, you're not gonna get money, man. All you're gonna have to do is wash your clothes, man. It's that simple. All you're gonna do is wash your clothes, and you're still gonna be broke. If a pigeon shits on you, excuse my French, they're gonna be. I'm gonna be. It means I'm gonna get money. What's the next one? If your palms itching, you're gonna get money.
Yeah, your left hand.
Is it your left hand? If your left hand's itching, you're gonna get money. This is how you know this is black people full of superstitions, man. There's the next one. Oh, my ears is burning. Somebody's talking about me. You heard that one?
Yeah.
My ears is burning. Somebody's talking about me. Maybe your ears just need cleaning, or your ears are just hot, man. That's all it is. My ears are burning. Oh, listen, all these superstitions, man. There's another one. Don't cross on the stairs. You heard that one? Don't cross somebody on the stairs, or don't step over somebody if they're lying down because they won't grow. You heard that one?
Yeah, I heard that.
Don't step over someone if they're lying down because they won't grow. Listen, man. Paul was dealing with superstitious people back in the days, man. And we're still dealing with it right now, which lets you know them same black people in Paul's time, which were saying New Year, New Me, thousands of years ago in 2020, there's still not a new them, man. Still the same superstitious people, man. Still the same people that want to go speakers corner and talk nonsense. They want to go there to see something or hear something. Same things, man. Same things that was going on back then is going on right now. Go ahead.
For I passed by and beheld your devotions, and I found
And he passed by and saw their devotions, man. Meaning what? These people's devoted to these idols they were serving. These people's devoted to celebrating the new year. They was devoted to celebrating Christmas. The average person that celebrates Christmas don't even know that it's Nimrod's birthday. The average person that celebrates New Year don't even know that what the worshiping Janus. Go ahead.
your devotion. I found an altar with this inscription to the unknown God.
So now, Paul found the inscription to the unknown God. So what Paul's going to do is going to use wisdom. He's going to tell them, yo, you know who the unknown God is? It's the God of the Bible, man, that you should be following. That's what Paul, that's what it says. They found the inscription to the unknown God. Meaning these people is worshipping everything, man. Like black people today worshipping everything. Worshipping a God that they didn't know who it was. Paul's going to use wisdom right now and he's going to use skill to fish them in. Go ahead.
The unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you.
Listen, man. He goes, whom you ignorantly worship, him there I declare unto you. Listen, black people, you think you're worshiping God when it's Christmas? I hate to break it to you. You ain't worshiping God when it's Christmas, man. You ain't worshiping God when it's New Year's. You ain't worshiping God when it's Easter. But listen, I'm going to declare the God of the Bible unto you, man. I'm going to show you who you should be worshiping. Go ahead.
Who I declare unto you, God that made the world and all things therein.
Listen, man. This is who you should be worshiping. The God that created the world and all things therein. Not them silly little idols. Not them silly little statues. Not Allah. Not Buddha. Not the rest of them. Go ahead.
Seeing that he is Lord of heaven,
Seeing what?
Lord of heaven.
Listen, man. You should stop celebrating New Year's. You know why? Because you have a God who is Lord of heaven and earth, man. You should stop celebrating Christmas. You know why? Because you have a God who is Lord of heaven and earth, man. You should serve him. And by serving him means you have to stop serving everybody else. By serving him means you can't serve Allah no more. You can't serve Buddha no more. You can't serve Selassie no more by serving this God that you don't know, who we're declaring unto you, the God of the Bible. Go ahead.
And earth dwelleth not in the temples made with hands.
Listen, man. The God of the Bible don't dwell in temples made with hands. The God of the Bible don't dwell in that club that you was in last night, man. He ain't in that club that he was in last night. He wasn't in 101. He wasn't in Bamboo. He wasn't in Nouveau. He wasn't in those clubs. Go ahead.
Neither is worshipped with men's hands.
Neither what?
Neither is worshipped with men's hands.
Neither is worshipped with men's hands. Listen, man. God ain't made by man's hands, and neither is he worshipped with men's hands. You don't need to pick up God and carry him here and do this and do that. You have to do that with the idols that you make yourself. Go ahead.
Though as though he needed anything, seeth he giveth to all.
Listen, man. God don't need anything, man, because even though he gives everything. He gives everything, so he don't need everything. But what you need to do is serve God, man. You don't need to make him You don't need to make him into an idol. You don't need to wear a chain on your neck and say, "Oh, this is who I worship." Like, you got some people that actually kiss their Bible. You seen those people that kiss their Bible? Listen, man. Instead of kissing your Bible, why don't you just follow what it says in there, man?
That's right.
Kiss the Bible all day long. I understand you think you're close to God. I understand it makes you feel close to God that you kiss the Bible. Listen, man. I see a Christian man kissing his Bible. Kissing his Bible, thinking he's close to God. Listen, what does that mean? This man also kisses hoes. Also, what difference does it make, man?
That's right.
What difference does it make? Kissing the Bible, thinking God's going to see how good you are and how righteous you are. How about you open the Bible and read it and understand what it's saying? You come here and learn the Bible and do what it says instead of kissing the Bible and stroking it and whatnot. Go ahead.
And breatheth and all things. He have made of one blood all nations
Go
of
ahead.
men, for to dwell on the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed.
And listen, man, the Lord's determined the times before appointed with prophecy and everything, man. Everything we have in this Bible is what's going to happen in the future and things that's already passed. It was written of before time what was going to happen. And I'm gonna tell you the proof why you should believe this whole Bible, because it spoke about slave ships and you ended up on one.
That's right.
It spoke about you being scattered around the four corners of the earth and you ended up there. It spoke about you dying a horrible death if you don't serve God, and we've ended up there. It spoke about us having every plague which is not written in this book, and we number one for all them plagues, man. So you better start believing this Bible and its prophecies. Ain't no lies detected in this Bible, man. We live in it. Said a vicious nation should come and take us and murder us and hold themselves not guilty, man. Listen, man. Just ask Mark Duggan's family if that scripture's true or false, man. Ask Jermaine Baker's family if that scripture's true or false. Ask Rashawn Charles' family if that scripture's true or false, man. And listen, they'll tell you, yo, we didn't know this was in the Bible, but from what I'm reading, it sounds pretty true to me. They'll tell you that, man. This Bible is all true, man. Go ahead.
And the bounds of their habitation.
And the Lord set the bounds of the people's habitations, which land was theirs, which landmass he gave to them. Go ahead.
That they should seek the Lord if haply they might feel after him.
Listen, man, we meant to seek the Lord. Now, we didn't know God before while we're revealing him to you now. You shall seek the Lord. Go ahead.
Happily they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every single one of us.
Listen, man, God ain't far from us. It's just us who don't want to find him, man. Listen, you're in the internet age, man. Most people don't even use the internet for the right things. Most people just on the internet doing nonsense. When you should be what? Trying to find God, man. Trying to find the truth. Asking, yo, where's the truth? Listening to what we got to say, man. I mean, most people don't even listen to. I mean, come to the class and see what we got to say, and come to the classes, man. Sit down. Take 2 hours out of your time and come and sit down, man. You take 2 hours out of your time to go watch movies and whatnot. You take 2 hours out of your time to go do some nonsense. Take 2 hours out of your time to hear about the Lord, man. That's it, man. Go ahead.
For in him we live and move and have our being, as certain also of your own poets
Go ahead.
have said, for we are also his offspring.
For what?
For we are also his offspring.
There you go, man. Read on.
And that's heavy because even back in ancient Athens, they believe that some people descended from the God.
Mhm.
So your big point is saying, we are God's offspring,
Mhm.
like us Israelites are
The sons of God.
For as much then as we are the offspring of God, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone.
And the Godhead is what? The power structure. So the Godhead, the Godhead is the power structure, but the other nations, their Godhead is what? Silver and gold and statues and whatnot. Our Godhead ain't like that. Our Godhead isn't of silver and gold. That's what it's talking about. Godhead is talking about the power structure of the Most High and the order and the setup and whatnot. That's what the Godhead is. God means what? Power, right? It means power. And the head is like the structure and whatnot, the leadership, the structure. So that's what the Godhead is. Go ahead.
Graven by art and
Listen, man.
man's device.
Listen, man. Our Godhead ain't graven by art and man's device. Our Godhead ain't Janus and whatnot. Our structure ain't like Esau's structure. Our structure ain't like the Arab structure. Pause, letting them know this. Our Godhead ain't like that, man. If you're looking for something nice to serve God like a statue, that's not us, man. We don't serve God with a statue. Go ahead.
At the times of this ignorance, God winked at.
Listen, at the times of his ignorance, God winked at. Listen, man, God winked at your Christmas ignorance. Now that you know better, don't do it again, man. God winked at your New Year's ignorance. Now that you know better, don't do it again, man. God winked at that ignorance. What does it mean to wink at someone's ignorance? It means to act like you didn't see it, man. That's what it means. It means to act like you didn't see it, meaning that's the Lord having mercy on you, man. Giving you a chance to get right. Don't frustrate his grace and make him have to wipe you out, man. Go ahead.
God winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
Listen, man. When I'm saying God commandeth all men everywhere to repent, he commands all men everywhere to change their life, man. That's what he commands. All men everywhere to repent and change their life. Go ahead.
Because he have appointed a day in which he will judge the world.
Listen, man. The Lord's appointed the day when he will judge the world, man. The Lord's going to judge the world, man. And listen, everybody's going to have to pay for their crimes. He's appointed a day for that. Now, do we know what day that is? No, we don't know what day that is. But the Lord does know what day it is. And he's appointed a day, man, when he's going to judge the world. That should scare you enough to change your life, man. Go ahead.
Judge the world in righteousness.
He's going to judge the world in righteousness, meaning his judgments, what he judges the world with is going to be righteous. People who get put to death and so forth, it's going to be a righteous judgment. Go ahead.
By that man whom he have ordained, whereof he have given assurance unto all men, in that he raised him from the dead.
Listen, man, that's talking about Yahushua, man. He's teaching them about Yahushua right now, man. That's what he's doing. He's teaching them about Yahushua. Go ahead.
And when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some mocked.
And when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some mocked. Like people mock today. And think about it. These like is around what? Esau. And Esau believes you only live once and then you're dead and that's it. So you can see why the would mock. I mean, now even when you talk about reincarnation, people mock. But so you believe a man dies and he comes like da, 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 da. Same way the mock back then is the same way the mocking right now, man. Because what they're around the same kind of people who teach them their doctrine. Because this earth's given into the hand of the wicked. Go ahead.
And the others said, "We will hear thee again on this matter."
And they said, "We'll hear thee again on this matter." With that, that brings us to the end of the class. Log into class tomorrow, 7 p.m., and you can hear us again on this matter. That's the end of the class. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer and we out of here.
Shalom, that's a fantastic upset. Shalom, by hand, first and foremost. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3:8-10 means 10 in the Hebrew Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation is
Purim, March 8th and 9th.
Is the Feast of Purim.
It's like a March 7th and 8th.
Of March the
7th and 8th.
Of March the
7th and 8th.
The
And it lands on a
and 8th.
Lands on a Saturday and the Sunday.
And it lands on a Saturday and the Sunday.
It's a 2-day feast. So there's an opening and there's a closing.
All Akim and Aqua, check the bulletin board in the hallway and check all I.S.U.P.K social media, Facebooks, Instagrams, YouTubes, Twitters, everything we have. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves, and with that, I'm Madiam, and we're going to rise and face the east and the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Chaya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malachwaka, Taba'ah, Ratzaika, Chaya, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawor, Chaya, Ba'Shemayim, Nathanawa, the Kam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalachnoa, Kabawachnoa, Kasalachnoa, Kabawapinoa, Wala'a, Tabaya Ayanoa, Banasayawan, Abor, Habushainoa, Mayon, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahafapara, La'aywalamya, Aman.
In the English, our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
In earth,
as
it is in heaven.
it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
Give our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
Into temptation. But deliver us.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the glory.
Forever.
So be. And with that, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yad Yamatav, class dismissed.